My God.
What's up, Coach Lamont? Thanks for having me. How's it going?
Lanning.
Thanks for having me. What's up, Instagram?
The one and only Bryce Lanning, the man behind the beast, the man that nobody knows. He's just the regular guy on the sideline, but man, they don't know you the boss.
Hey, thanks for having me, Coach Lamont, my guy.
Hey, man, no question, man. No question. How you been?
I've been good, just staying safe, kind of bored with no basketball, but just ready to get back to the normal. But everything's good over here. How about you?
Yeah, doing the same. Now, where you staying at now? You in Florida, in the Triangle? Or?
I'm in Youngsville, North Carolina. I'm living with family right now, so I've been back here the last few months. But, I'm about to be making a move soon whenever basketball gets back to normal, either Charlotte or Orlando. So.
Really? Now, see, that's what I'm talking. See, all young kids, listen to what I'm saying. This man said he's about to bounce, right, and go where he need to go because that's where the machine is leading him, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, people don't know, Bryce, I've been watching you a long time, since that beginning. But before we get started on that, why don't you tell everybody who you are?
Well, my name's Bryce. I started Elite Mixtapes back in 2011. I grew up in Wake Forest, North Carolina, and I've been doing this since probably 2009, 2010. That's when I started doing videography and kind of just started in high school and kept it going ever since.
Man, that is amazing. I actually, can remember talking to you for the first time. We talked over at Garner Road, and just the young fella just trying to live his dream, man, and to see this, and it's been. Shoot, that's been 6, 7
probably
years.
Like 2012, 2013.
Yeah, somewhere along in there. It's been a long time ago, and to see that growth, man, we're proud of you, man. We really are. We love what you're doing. So, tell me a little bit now. Everybody knows Elite Mixtapes. That's why they all on here. They know Elite Mixtapes. How have you been able to stay behind the scenes? Has that been the plan the whole time or what? Because, some of the videos.
Yeah, I'm not much of an on-camera person, so I've always been behind the camera. It's just easier for me to do that and focus on the players. And, that's what people want to see, too, is just the players. And it's cool to do stuff like this, but it's definitely not what I normally do. So it's cool getting behind the camera.
Right. So at what point, did you know that being a videographer is what you want to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at that moment, you was like, you know what? I could do this.
It was probably like around 2012, around the time I met you. I was going to Wake Tech Community College, and I had been doing Elite Mixtapes for a few years, and I started seeing a lot of success with it. So I decided to not go back for my second year and just kind of lock in on Elite Mixtapes and kind of just went forward and had that tunnel vision from then on out. Didn't have any distractions. I just kind of focused on that.
Really? I didn't know you was at Wake Tech there.
Yeah, I was there for my freshman year.
Really? And just said, you know what? I'm not going back to Wake Tech.
I wasn't feeling it. I had to. I couldn't balance the two out the way I wanted to, so I had to, make some changes.
Right.
But
one of them had to be focused.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So question: Why basketball? Why not football or some other sport?
Well, I never played any other sports really. I grew up playing basketball. I wasn't the best player, but I always played rec league or church league from elementary school all the way to the time I was a senior in high school. So I was always drawn to basketball. I actually started off doing football and basketball highlight tapes for my high school, and mostly football because we had a big football school and a lot of football players going D1. So that's kind of where it started, but I always ended up back, in the basketball gym. And to me, that's the most exciting sport. So, it's what I love to do, and I love to showcase.
Right. Now, you said you started out in football. Now, is doing football harder than basketball when it comes to video?
It's about the same, but as far as like the players, it's easier to get highlights for basketball players, at least in my opinion. Unless you're a quarterback, it's kind of tough. You might have to catch 3, 4, 5 games before you have enough for a highlight tape. But in basketball, it's a lot easier, at least with some of the players that I cover. It's usually a point guard, so having the ball in their hands the whole time, you get a lot of highlights.
Yeah, it seems that I've never really thought about, being a football videographer, how hard it is. But like, how would you really get footage on an offensive lineman? Like,
Exactly.
I mean? Like,
it's tough. It takes a lot of, zooming in and figuring out what they're doing, because
and there's 22 people on the floor.
Yeah,
I'm
my
on
guy
the field. You know that.
Trey Bravo, my guy that does Elite Mixtapes, West, he actually does blitz tapes as well. So he's he's on the football side of things, but there's not as much media on that side. So he's definitely going to blow up one day with it, either this season or the next season.
Now, he is he out of L.A.?
L.A., yep.
You know, I
originally from Raleigh.
Yeah, I didn't know you had somebody in L.A. until I Googled and saw that it said Elite Mixtape Los Angeles came up.
Yeah, that was last year we made that move. And Trey, he's been good people. I've known him since probably 2011, 2012, but he's from Raleigh originally. And whenever he wanted to make that move, he hit me up and said, hey, let's try to expand the brand to the West Coast. And, you know, it's been a great move that, you know, I'm really appreciative of his help. And, you know, it's been a great move.
How's it going over there?
It's going good. You know, you got LeBron James' son over there, so that alone is going to get the views. But there's a lot of great players, especially last year with Josh Crisper and Dior Johnson. There's a lot of players out there. So it's good to have cameras all over the place, you know. Right. But we focus mostly on the East Coast, you know, throughout Elite Mixtapes.
Right. You know, it's funny, man. I'm watching you, and you're like a grown man now. Like, you know, you was a young fella back in the day. And people may not even know, you know, around the time you were starting out, we was really getting started then, too.
Yeah.
I think on our first website, we had a section for you on our first website.
I remember that.
That tells you how long ago that been. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So do you ever just sit back and be like, man, look how big it's grown over this time?
Not really. Whenever I do think about it, it's definitely a blessing, and it's cool to reflect on sometimes. But I'm more focused on what I'm doing now. But it really has been a journey. You know, from 2011, 2012 to now, it's been crazy. And I lived in Orlando for a few years. I lived in Charlotte twice for around 5 years total between the two times. So it's been a blessing to be able to get out and see the world and meet a lot of cool people and kind of just you know, try to do the best I can do with it.
Right. Now, question. So everybody has somebody like, I don't know, that helped them get in the business, or somebody they looked at and was like following their blueprint. Was there anybody that kind of showed you the ropes, or that you watched from a distance and you wanted to kind of model?
Yeah, there's two people I'm going to name. Webb Wellman from Hoop State Network. He was originally with Ball's Life. I met him pretty early on, and you know, he's always been great to me. And we actually collabed for a few years back when he was with Ball's Life. So he showed me a lot of stuff, gave me a lot of advice. And the other person is Nils Wagner from Hoop Mixtape. I met him at the North Carolina Pro-Am back in the day, and both Hoop Mixtape and Ball's Life were, you know, the two powerhouses in YouTube. So to be able to meet them early on gave me a lot of confidence, and just to be able to see what they were doing, you know, it was cool to see what they were doing.
Yeah, because at that time, Ball's Life had only been out maybe 3 or 4 years, but they were the hot ticket, you know. Yeah. But since then, I don't know about how often you watch, but I watch every blue moon. I see a lot of people trying to do videos. I mean, like, you know, I go to a lot of events, so they have people there doing videos, and they be charging some outrageous prices. You know what I mean? For and Bryce, I'm talking about simple videos. I'm talking about, you know, like a arrow pointing at the kid. You know, like basic stuff that I could do. So how have you? But what happens is, or what I've noticed is, a lot of them fold and not make it. You know what I mean? Like, just like in our industry, you know. People come in. I think people come in thinking that they're going to, you know, make this killing and they can do it, but they don't understand the grind. So won't you tell people like what made your rise different and be able to sustain for so long?
I mean, I was in the right place at the right time growing up in North Carolina around such great players. I kind of got to give credit to the players, but you know, it's just been, you know, it's a lot of sacrifice, like you were saying, and you can't just pick it up and it's going to work out for you overnight. But I had the blessing of I was living at home with my family in high school when I started. So it's not like I started when I was 25. I started at the right time, and got really lucky at, you know, that was the time where Ball's Life and Hoop Mixtape were starting to blow up. So I was able to see them and use them as a blueprint, figure out what I wanted to do, and kind of just go from there. But yeah, it's tough. There's a lot of people that come and go, and you know, a lot of people just come in and they'll focus on a kid or two, and then after that, you know, they do whatever else. You don't really see or hear from them again. But at the end of the day, I think it's a lot of good people in this industry, and a lot of people that try it, they do it for the right reasons. And It's not always just to get rich. It's always usually to help out the kids and to, help them get to the next level.
Right. Now, how I know I got some stories of my grind of, sharing Motel 6 rooms and, how what's like, was there a point where it was just like, man, this is a grind? Like, is, not that you may have not want to give up, but the grind, like, did it ever get really, really low?
Yeah, I think around 2016 and 2017 was when it was kind of tough for me because that was right around the time we met Zion. But right before we met Zion, it was kind of tough, and we came off of a kind of disappointing season. We really weren't filming as many players, and I actually had a granddad that passed away around that time, so I really wasn't that inspired. But whenever I met Zion, that kind of we got back on, and I actually got in a car crash around the same time I was filming Zion, so that alone kind of carried over into 2017. It was like, man, I got to get a new car. I got to pay taxes. Everyone's good. So it was definitely stressful. I wouldn't say I considered quitting, but it was definitely testing me around those times. But, I'm glad I stuck with it. And, I'm sure everyone has a story like that, though, where, you have ups and downs, and appreciate the times that everything's going good.
Yeah. That's, man, I didn't know all that was going on. I remember that period where, it got kind of quiet. You know what I mean? It did. It got kind of quiet. But so it was Zion that rejuvenated the career of Elite Mixtapes.
Gave me that passion back, I guess. But, Zion's era was different. For his junior and senior year, he was definitely the guy to go to. And I was living in Charlotte at the time, so it was like an hour drive away from Charlotte. And, it was one of the best times, but also one of the worst times because, like I said with my granddad and a lot of stuff that was going on that people didn't know about. But, it made me who I am today. So, I'm happy it happened now.
Yeah. Now you also had Dex helping you out. When did Dex start helping you? When did that?
Shout out to Dex. Shout out to Skill Boost Academy. But I met Dex right when I moved into Charlotte in 2013, and he started helping me out, I think, in 2014. And he's been helping me out a lot. Like when I moved to Florida, I wouldn't have been able to make that move had he not been back in North Carolina doing the thing back here, because I didn't want to leave North Carolina, but him being back there made it possible for me to go to Charlotte, meet the Newmans, and kind of take over from there. But yeah, shout out to Dex.
And Dex a good guy, man. That's my guy. He went to the Bahamas with us to represent the Mixtape. So got to know him real well, man. It's a funny guy. That's my dude right there. Mm-hmm. So for us people that don't know the world of video, all I know is y'all take some videos and put some highlights up, but I'm sure it's a deeper, industry, that there's a lot more that goes into it than that. So tell us, how does it work? Like, how does it actually, like, how do you, like, what YouTube wants from you? How does that work?
Well, with YouTube, it changes all the time. But really, if you get people to click on it when they see it, the more people that click on it, the more it gets pushed into the home pages of people, and kind of triggers the algorithm to promote that video more. But a lot of times you'll see videos with higher watch times, like a 20-minute video, and that's because of that, because YouTube kind of promotes the videos with the most watch time. And really,
So for the most watch time?
The watch time, yep. So if you see a video that has 30 minutes, it might, just be a 30-minute raw highlight video, but it might do better than the 3-minute video that someone spent a lot of time on. So, that's what it is. That's why you see a lot of the sloppy editing and people just throwing stuff out there.
Yo, so that explains a lot. Now, question, was there a time when they made that switch to that, or has it always been like that?
It was, there was a specific time. It was like around 2015 or maybe 2017, but it was around that time. You probably noticed it.
No, I'm telling you, it makes sense now, because I remember the change of, you didn't see as much music in videos. It was literally raw footage.
Yeah, and everyone had the same video. There'd be 20 videos of the same stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, now I know. Go ahead, man. It makes sense to me now. Go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that's all it is if you can get people to click on the video. So if I have someone like Zion or someone like Julian, they're gonna get the most clicks, and then from then on, it's gonna be promoted to more people so that more people can see that video in the recommended section or wherever it is. So It's kind of tricky, but, you know, if you catch a video or if a video catches fire, it could really go viral just off of the first like 48 hours of it being out.
Now going viral, how does that help you? So do they pay you? You said they pay for how long how long it's watched, right? So yeah. I thought at one time they did it by clicks.
It's a little of both. It's still mixed in, but the watch time definitely helps you get the more clicks, and it's promoted more within YouTube's app and within the website. So it's all complicated, but it changes up all the time, like every year.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that is crazy. Now, so since you started, I know there's been a lot of change in the way the video looks as far as 4K and all of these different things and whatever. Now, everybody don't use that. How do you know when you go on and click on somebody's video, what tells you the quality of that video?
Usually I don't even watch in 4K. So if it's 1080, you know, I usually just think of it as a good quality video. So, I mean, a lot of it is just the companies that I'm used to. If I've seen Hoop Diamonds or Take Flight Hoops, I know that they do quality work, and I know that they have a nice camera and they take a lot of time. They spend a lot of time on their videos. So I'm more likely to click on their video than someone else that I've never heard of.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay. So now, question: do y'all? Because I know in my industry, you know, we kind of know each other somehow or some other.
Yep.
Is that what it is like in the video world? Like y'all all?
Yeah, we all know each other. We all see each other at the same games, and you know, a lot of us have been around since, you know, before I was around. So I see Ball is Life, Hoop Mixtape, or not Hoop Mixtape anymore, but Ball is Life, Slam, Overtime. We're all at the same event, so you know.
So everybody cool with it? Because I know in my industry they cut throat, man. Like they don't, like, you know what I mean? Like so everybody in the video world get along pretty good
for the most part, you know. I know some people don't get along, but it's nothing too serious. Nothing cutthroat. It's just, you know, a lot of competitive people trying to get the most views, and but you know, if someone gives you a bad look or something like that, you really don't you won't see them after that one game, so you just kind of don't deal with it. But for the most part, all the top people, all the top companies that I've worked with have been very cool to work with, and you know, it's been all love.
So why would y'all even have to beef with you? I mean, like, because you get your, like, when they look at yours and be like, oh, Bryce done put in the sprinkles in the video, like, you know what I mean? Do they be hating on your you know, the way you bring in new things and you see somebody else try to do it, or is that?
I don't see too much hate. A lot of the hate that I see is usually directed towards Julian, which I don't get it, but towards me, I don't really get too much hate. It's just mostly like, why you cover Julian? You know, why'd you miss my game? I had 40 points the other day, that sort of thing. But you know, it's nothing really too personal. I don't really take it too personal. But
so
it's the internet.
So they in the comments like, yo, I had more than you.
Man, I mean, at the end of the day, people are still clicking on Julian to watch his videos. So
right,
you know, I don't get it.
Right. So speaking of Julian, because you were the one to introduce me to Julian. Like I didn't know who he was. You know, I'm late to the party, but you did cover him a lot. How did that relationship end up the way it did? Like, how did you find out about the Newmans and then that blossom?
Well, I met Julian and his family at the Scouts Focus All-American Camp back in 2013, and he had a video on Scouts Focus, and it had like 3 million views. That was the only video I knew about at the time, but Joe Davis, the event runner for Scouts Focus, pointed him out to me and said, hey, look out for this kid. This kid just got 3 million views. So already I knew that he had a following, and people wanted to see what he was doing. So I saw him play one game at that Scouts Focus camp, and I talked to his dad after the game, and we talked business, and he was telling me he had a bunch of footage that he wanted, you know, to send me so we could start working on videos. This was when Julian was, I think, in 5th grade. So we put out a 5th grade highlight tape, and it did really well. We did some stuff for his 6th grade season, and I actually moved out there for his 7th grade season. That's when we did the workout video that now has close to 20 million views. So that relationship right there changed the Lead Mixtapes completely. And
wow,
you know,
did you say 20 million views?
It's at 18 million right now, but it's gonna get 20. You know,
really?
It's crazy.
Now I'm trying to think. Did I see that? You said it was a workout video?
It was a workout video. It's the #1 video on Elite Mixtapes as far as views.
And it was when he was in 7th grade.
Yeah, right before his 7th grade season, and his dad was in the video, and You know, it was on World Star. That's one thing I remember. It got on World Star, and then it got picked up everywhere. It just blew up overnight, really. And it's crazy looking back on it. It was 5 years ago, but, you know, it really changed everything.
When those views were coming in, when you were like, oh, my God, like, yo. Like,
yeah. It was surreal. Like, it was such a blessing. And, yeah, I just remember going home because I was living in Florida. I remember going home for Christmas and just being so happy and, you know, feeling like I did it. Like, you know, I put in a lot of work and, you know, it was time to really get down to business at that point.
Right. No, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. I did not know that. It was work. Now, before you started filming him, were you filming fifth graders?
No, that was the first young kid. Well, it was Damon Harge. I don't know if you know Damon Harge, but
I know Damon.
Yeah, he was like in 7th, 8th grade, but he wasn't like a 5th grader. So that was a kid that I had filmed, but it was mostly seniors and juniors, like kids that were going to play D1 that next year, whether they were committed or they were about to commit. So it was definitely something different, and I think that's probably why it caught fire was because, well, this kid's tiny. He's only in 7th grade, and you know he could shoot, he could dribble. It was just such a unique situation that you know. It forced people to pay attention.
Right. Hey, 5th grade or not, he had 3 million views. Let me talk to you a minute.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, how many videos you think you've chopped up over the years?
Probably 1,000, close to 1,000, maybe
really?
A little more. Yeah, just it's been 10 years, so you know it's been a lot of stuff.
And that's a lot of work, man.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to do one video, like chop it up?
It depends on what video. If it's like a game recap, it might take like an hour to make, less than that. If it's a mixtape, it might take 4 or 5 hours. But you know, I usually just go at it for the mixtapes. I do it a little bit by a little bit. Like I'll do 2 hours here, to come back that night, come back the next day. But yeah, it doesn't take too long per video.
It sounds tedious though, man. It really like because you got to watch the whole game just about, right? You got to go in and man, like you. I
watch a lot of fast forward, and you know I know what to look for. So, you know, I've been doing it for so long. It's easy to go in there and find the 10 clips or 20 clips that I'm looking for. But yeah, at first it took a little while to figure it out.
Yo, that's all right, man. You're a vet now, so you say you ain't got to do all that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
from you.
So who are some of your favorite players to record? Well, we know Julian, but who are some of the other players that you just love filming?
Like current high school players?
Throughout your whole elite mixtape.
Yeah, Julian, Zion, Ben Simmons, Thon Maker, Quay Parker, Bam Adebayo, Harry Giles. A lot of North Carolina kids in there, but that 2016 class, like, you know, it was crazy. So that whole 2016 North Carolina class got to put in there. But
man, I'll tell you, man, that's probably one of the toughest classes
ever.
So
that's what I mean.
Yeah, 2015 Super 60, which they all were juniors. Yeah. And I go back sometime and I look at, you know, the players that were in that class.
I remember the Super 60 that year was crazy.
Oh, it was crazy. Man, you go look at it and you like, man, it was high major D1, 25 kids deep.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Every game it was someone going at someone.
Oh man, you talk, if you look back at, you know, the Kobe Whites, you know, you had, that year, bro.
Everybody.
Dennis and Bam and I could go on and on and on. It was tough, man. That was tough. So you really had an advantage over a lot of videographers because you were here at the heyday. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Just right place, right time. So I got to credit that a little bit too because it's been some amazing players that have come through.
Yeah. With you being a vet and at the top of the game. Now I don't know how many. When I think of videographers and the top ones in the country, I think of you and Ball is Life and Hoop Mixtape. How many are there? Like how many like really top ones in the country?
Top there's probably like 20 very, very good ones, maybe 30.
Really?
And
really?
I mean, every state has their own video guy now. Every team, every top player, you
but
know.
But the difference is when I say the top ones.
Yeah.
You guys, okay, like there. Of course, there's a top guy in South Dakota, right?
Right.
But but his material in South Dakota is not going to be,
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? So, because
Yeah.
we're in the hoop state. So, you know, of course, I expect maybe California, New York, or wherever. I don't know where they are, but
Yeah.
I feel like you and Webb and them with Baller's Life, like y'all were in the middle of where it's at, to me.
Definitely. It was a blessing. What I mean? Didn't have to go too far.
So who would be competitive? Like if you YouTube somebody, who's going to be the top video guys to get in that material?
Wait, say it again.
Like if I go YouTube some of the best players in the country, right? Let's say from the Boost Mobile or the All-American Game or wherever it is, out of all the videographers that be there, all the top ones, who are the most familiar at the top of the game? Like I said,
Yeah. I would say like the top ones, Ball is Life, Slam, and Overtime. That's like the big three right there. There's Home Team Hoops. There's Hoop Diamonds. There's in Georgia you have OST 247. You have Take Flight. And there's just so many of them. I can't even. I know I'm forgetting a lot of people, but just on the East Coast in general, we have a lot of really talented videographers and a lot of talented players that have to be filmed. You know, you got to catch what some of these kids are doing. So, you know, it's been there's a lot of them though. Like you said, there's a lot of different videographers, but I think it's good for the kids, and you know, there's no excuse not to have a highlight tape because of that. Because you know, it's way easier than it was 10 years ago or even 5 years ago.
You mentioned Overtime. Now I know they're big on the girl side too. How did they become? I don't remember them doing the Ballers Life days. Maybe I missed it. I don't know.
Yeah, they popped up around the same time Zion was in high school, and I think they had a lot of money. The owner came from something where I think he sold another business, and he kind of came in and started wrecking havoc. And they have reality shows now, and they really have a lot of people working for Overtime now. So they came in and kind of changed the game, and no one knew about who they were in 2015 at all. So
I thought I missed the boat. I was like, you know, I didn't know who they was, and they popped up, and they got all these people, and I'm like, man, they just come out of nowhere. So question. So you're at the top of the game. Everybody looks at you as one of the big balls in the big ballers in the game, and you know. So what would you say to aspiring? Like, there's a dude watching right now because you're his hero right now. He's watching this live, and he wants to be like Bryce at Elite Mixtapes. What is some of the advice you can give him and some of the things that he should prepare for if he's going to try to make this for the long
run? You just got to stay with it, stay consistent, find a player that you like or multiple players that you like. And if you think that they're an entertaining player, everyone else will too. So you really just got to sacrifice whatever it is. Like if you have a chance to go to a game or instead go to a party, just go to the game and, you know, make the decision that's going to benefit you 10 years from now, and just kind of stay with that tunnel vision and block out everything else. And you can do whatever you set your mind to. That's real.
Yeah. So is there anything that you regret over the years or wish you would have did differently, you know, on your journey?
Not off the top of my head. You know, it'd be nice to know everything I know now back in 2010 or 2011, but it's not the way it works. So, you know, you kind of live and learn. But I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that, you know, I wish I did different.
Yeah. So one more question here. What do you want people to know about Bryce? Like, because nobody knows. That's why I look at it. Like, you're the most popular guy that nobody knows. Like, you know, because if you know, a lot of people know the Bryant. Like, you know, and I'll say the same thing for my girl on the girl side, Marissa, that runs I can't think of it. Y'all help me in the comments. Marissa runs oh my God, I can't think of it. One of them will pop it in there for me in a second. But anyway, they don't know her. They know her company. And it's kind of that way with you. Now, some people do it on purpose, right? What again is that, you know, pass the ball. Look, pop to throw it in there for me. Which pass the ball is huge in the girl side, right? But nobody know Marissa. You know, we know her. So with you being behind the camera and so forth, and what do you want people to know about Bryce that runs Elite Mixtape?
I'm not really sure. Just I love basketball, love the game of it. You know, I'm trying to always get better with it and trying to motivate. You know, if there's anyone out there that wants to do the same thing, I definitely encourage them to do it. You know, it's it's definitely not impossible. You can go out there, and if you enjoy doing it, you know, make it happen. And but yeah, as far as me, I'm just the guy behind the camera, and I have a really big team. I want to shout out a few people real quick. Of course, shout out to Dex, shout out to Trey, shout out to George. He was with us for a few years in Florida. Shout out to Nick. There's been a lot of people, and that's some of the guys that have helped recently, but there's been a lot of people we've collabed with, and it's definitely a team effort. It's not just me. So, you know, just, you know, appreciate everybody.
I want them to know you. You're that shy guy that's trying to put it out on everybody. I want you to tell everybody now. Now, look, are you a shy guy? Are you an asshole? What
I'm probably shy. Yeah, I hope I'm not that, but yeah, I'm definitely shy.
So it's cool for them to come up. It's cool for them to come up and speak if they see you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
I definitely say to myself sometimes, like, you know, if you see me in the stands, I'm not trying to get people to not talk to me, but I do say to myself, a lot of times you see me, I'm usually just by myself or with, you know, one or two other people helping me out. So no, I'm usually all business.
Right. And y'all don't be fooled by this shyness and Bryce has got a lot more personality. Trust me, I know him well. Now, what can we expect from Elite Mixtape in the near future? Like, are we working on something new, or where are you planning to be? What's up for the future?
Well, this season I'm probably going to be at Oak Hill Academy a lot. I'm probably going to be back on the grind session as well in Kentucky, and filming Zion Harmon, Emmanuel Maldonado. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with the Newman still. Julian's going overseas, and they're about to make an announcement pretty soon. So I'm going to be following them, continuing to do that. A lot of players in North Carolina too. Jamari Thomas will be at his games. Jalen McDonald will be at some of his games. Maybe Quay Parker's brother Trey, we might catch some of his games. So you know, we're definitely always looking to find new players and try new things. But maybe we'll start doing events. You know, you actually coach the event. You and Coach Pop, the team.
You're the only person. You're the only person that's been able to talk me out of retirement to coach the game. You know,
I appreciate that though.
Nah, man. You know what was funny? I'm gonna post some of those pictures tomorrow, Flashback Friday, because I still have them. And of course, it's Pop's only claim to fame to have beat me in coaching.
Yeah, I think he had a better team though.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly, but
of course.
He had some players. I think he had Grant Williams. Yeah, he had Grant Williams on his team.
Yeah, me and Grant was going back and forth because Grant was unstoppable that game.
He took over that game.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun to do that. I hope, you know, anything you do, you know, we support, man, you know, because we go way back. One thing I always appreciate was a young fella, you know, following his dream and going as hard as you did. I always respect that. I always try to get young folks to, like you said a minute ago, you can do what you want to do, anything, if you put your mind to it. See those days that you know you may have had to buy a Happy Meal instead of a steak dinner, you did it because you had a goal. You know what I mean? And what I see in a lot of young folks, Bryce, is they don't want to make that sacrifice. You know what I mean? And tell them you had to sacrifice to get where you are, right? Yeah,
you have to sacrifice. You definitely have to, you know, make some choices you probably don't want to make, but it's for the better of your career and better for your friend.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff, man. Before we go, Bryce, I don't know if you've ever watched our show before.
Yeah, I have. It's a great show.
So you already know, before you leave, we got a little something that we got to go through for my man Bryce. And tonight, for Bryce, we're going to play Who You Got. Who you got, Bryce? We're going to talk about, now tonight's edition is about who was better in high school.
Okay.
In high school. You're the king of high school players. You record them all, so we want your opinion. And we want your opinion, and we want to know why you said one over the other. You ready? We got 10 of them. Here we go. John Wall or Dennis Smith Jr., who you got?
Oh, I hate to say John Wall because, you know,
really?
I didn't get a chance to see John Wall in high school. Dennis's era was crazy, but John Wall, he's different. I still think Dennis is gonna impress a lot of people these next few years. I want him to get out in New York, but he had a great rookie season. I think he's just getting started, and yeah, I got to go with John Wall on that one though.
Got to go with John. I can't argue. I saw John Wall in high school, and I have to say, man, I've never seen nobody to this day that could get in the end as fast as he could. That was just crazy. Like, it was literally crazy. So yeah, I'll roll with you on that one. Who we got next? Let's see what we got. Bam out of Bayo or Grant Williams? Who you got? Who did it better in high school?
In high school, that's tough because I think Grant won several championships.
Yeah, that's tough. Providence Day. Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough. That's really tough. I might have to go Bam, but I want to say Grant, just being a little biased. Grant's because he came to the game, that's my guy.
I was going to say he coached.
Yeah,
right. You got to
these
show
are tough
him love.
Here.
Yeah, you got to show the Elite Mixtape alum love, But it was tough, man.
But they're both doing their thing now.
Man, Bam was putting up some crazy numbers, man. You know what I mean? Like he was a grown man in ninth grade. You know what I mean?
He was doing the same stuff that he's doing now in the NBA, just against smaller kids, and he was dominating.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine how he's dominating NBA players? And he was the same guy in high school. It won't even fair, man. It won't even fair. All right, who we got? Let's go. Harry Giles or Pat Williams? Who you got?
Harry Giles.
Really?
But,
why is that?
I saw more of Harry Giles, and he was unstoppable back in the day. Like, at one point, he was the #1 player in high school for a whole season or two. So, Pat's going to be a great player, though. But I got to go Harry for that one.
Yeah. I can't argue with you. When Harry was in school, man, he was so big. Good. He was hard to stop, man. Ain't too many people. Especially, was you at that? I'm sure you was at the John Wall that year
against
Thornmaker.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Here's that guy. He's just now starting to show what he could really do. But he's about to take over.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's getting ready to blossom a little bit. Have a little time in the league to get used to it. Because I'm gonna tell you, Bryce, I've seen it firsthand. People don't realize. I don't care how good they were in high school. Or even college. That NBA is different. You know what I mean? It's different. So sometimes it just takes them a minute to get, acclimated to the speed, the strength, and then they start to do what they naturally can do.
And he has some injuries that he's bounced back from, so he's definitely, he's starting to take over.
Yeah. Who we got next? Let's see. Kobe White or JT Terrell? Both had great high schools.
Yeah, I'm going to go Kobe. Just a little biased. I really didn't get a chance to see too much of him. But Kobe was that guy. Like, when I saw him at the John Wall, he was taking over. And the fact he's from North Carolina and, he had a big senior year after his dad passed away. Rest in peace. But that was a huge year. And I think everyone from North Carolina has a lot of love for Kobe because of that. Not because of that, but, that senior year really it was different.
Yeah. And no, he now, if you were in the era of JT Terrell, I see somebody put JT in they're from that era.
Yeah, I'm not from that era, so I know the name.
JT now it probably was, that was around 2009, I think, when JT, but now he could light it up. JT can light it up, So here we go. Who else we got? Oh, Imani Bates or LeBron James?
LeBron. Imani's that guy. Imani's the future #1 pick, but that's LeBron James. So
yeah. Have you watched Bates in live yet?
Yeah, I've seen him a few times, mostly at showcases. I saw him at the middle school hoop TV camp. I actually saw him at P-Sham last year, and he was dominant. So he's like a baby KD, and he's going to be doing a lot of things. I've been telling everyone that will listen that he's the next up. So
he's next up, right?
That money. Yeah.
He been putting on the show lately, man. He's but okay, who we got next? Let's see. Okay, Reggie Bullock or TJ Warren. Okay.
I really didn't see too much of either one of them.
Really?
Out of two. My favorite player is TJ, but Reggie, I saw Reggie at the Pro-Am, and Reggie lit it up. So
you go with Reggie?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of both of them, but TJ, that's Garner Road right there, and both of TJ Warren's different.
Yeah. man, he put on a show down there too. I mean, those two guys could get buckets, man, and they both from our area. That just go to show how much and how deep our area has been, man, over the last few years. Like, it's been crazy, you know.
That's why they call it the Hoop State.
That's why they call it the Hoop State. Let me see. I bet you I know who you're going to go with this one. Let's see. Brandon Ingram or P.J. Tucker? Who you got?
I'm going Ingram. I didn't see P.J. in high school either, but Ingram, he's different. They're both great players. Like, none of these guys are bad players at all, but it's tough to decide. But
yeah.
Ingram's really
I would go. I'll tell you what. I think Brandon, and I said this last year, I think Brandon is going to be a superstar in that league, man. I really do. He's another one I think is starting to get his feet settled now, and he's going to put up some numbers, man, because Brandon is getting better and better. He was already good.
Yeah.
But he's really getting better. He started showing up a little bit this year more, you know?
Yeah, he's up there for most improved. And I hope he stays in New Orleans. You know, if he stays with Zion, good things are going to happen next year.
Right.
I don't know if he'll stay.
Right. No, that's right. All right, who we got? Devonte Graham or Chris Clemons? That's another hard one there.
Yeah, I saw both these guys in high school. I might have to go Devonte Graham, but you know, Clemons, he was tiny and he was really making just as much noise. And I think I got to go with Graham, though. You know, Graham, I saw him play a lot for Garner Road, and he's just a natural shooter, and he's starting to play really well. He's outplayed Terry Rozier his whole year last season. So I think he's going to move on to bigger and better things. He's going to, out there. He's the smallest player in the NBA. So, you know.
And that's what I always liked about Chris, man. Chris was so small, but he was even when he went over to Campbell, he just went over there and
took over out there.
Oh my God, he was just, you could not stop him. You know,
and he's getting playing time now, and you know, in the playoffs, and it's fun to watch him out there. It's very cool to see.
Think about all the cats we know from this area, man. That's in the league. You know, Kyron Bowman, and you know, we could go on and on. Like they from this area, like Bryant, we've been loaded lately. You know. Yeah. All right, who we got? Hassan, Whiteside, or Montrezl Harrell? Who you got?
I didn't see Whiteside. I saw Montrezl at the Juwan Brand Classic, and he went crazy. He was the MVP of the regional game, and big fan of him. So I got to go with Montrezl there.
Yeah. Okay. Now Whiteside's a beast. Now. He's a beast.
He is.
He's a beast. Yeah. No, that's a good one. And I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. Both of them, they just bullies. You know?
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, who we got? Last one. We're going to go with the legends. You probably didn't see either one of these in high school, but we're going to see who you go. Chris Paul or Steph Curry. We'll let you use a little bit of NBA background to vote on this one.
I mean, my bias is pushing me towards Chris Paul because he had an NBA lockout game, and he brought LeBron and D-Wade and John Wall, a lot of people out to Winston-Salem back in 2011. So ever since then, he's been really one of my favorite guards. But Curry, I mean, that's Curry, you know. They just got the number 2 pick, too. So, like, once they get Wiseman or whoever they get, the Warriors are back next year. And,
now, at the top of their games, right now, NBA, top of their games, right? Chris Paul in his peak and Steph Curry at his peak. Who you got?
I got to go Curry.
I got to go
Curry.
I'm
more of a Chris Paul
on what
fan.
you like.
Say it again?
I said it depends on what you like, what you're looking for, but But Curry, man.
Curry has those rings, though, you know.
Yeah. True that. No, well, Bryce, man, we can't thank you enough for joining us, man. We've enjoyed having you here. You always been my guy from day one. You never switched up and got, you know, Hollywood on me now that everybody know you ain't switched up on me. You're still the same guy that I met, you know, those many years ago, and I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on the show. It's been real fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anything you need, Bryce, just let me know. Anything you got going on, let me know. You already know you my guy. All right?
I appreciate the support. Thanks for having me.
No question, man. I appreciate you. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Man, that's my guy from years and years, man. And I'd be so proud to watch him grow up, you know, from a young kid that just wanted to follow his dream.